Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charla.
I'm Justin.
And this is our video/podcast number 17.
Podcast 17.
In our podcast, we talk about our acquisitions.
Yep.
What we've played over the month.
Mm-hmm.
And what came on our radar.
That's right.
And this one is for September/October.
That's right.
Because September is super late and October is almost over.
That's right. September is always a really slow time of the year because it's the new year for school, and I'm crazy busy.
You can't even watch board game reviews. You're falling asleep.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is. So we didn't acquire very much in the month of September or play very much in the month of September.
Nope.
So we're just going to group everything all together.
That's right. So our acquisitions?
Sure.
What do we get?
We did a math trade. And
Nice.
we traded our copy of Darkest Night and received the Council of Four.
Nice.
Which I was really excited about because I'm kind of more of a Euro girl than that co-op of Darkest Night. I don't even know what you classify Darkest Night as, but
It's like a co-op, gloomy type of save the world fantasy game.
yes.
And it works pretty well. But I think like Dead of Winter is much better. Which we have, so we didn't need it anymore.
Yeah, I'm way more excited for Council of Four.
Yeah.
And in that math trade, we also traded our copy of Eminent Domain
Gone.
for Notre Dame.
That's interesting. Didn't really even know much about Notre Dame, except that it was a Feld.
Yes.
Cool. What else did we get?
We got our copy of Islebound.
Yes.
We had bought that a while ago, and it was on Hold Up Board Game Bliss forever.
Yeah.
Till we said ship all.
Yeah.
So I was excited to finally get that one.
And I find it so funny that when it hit Kickstarter, and we were getting into Above and Below, and you showed it to me, and I was like, oh, it looks really nice, and no, we're not getting it.
I know, he shot me right down.
Yeah, and it was just, I think honestly I was on New Game Overload at the time.
Maybe.
We had too many new games, and I wasn't interested in anything new, even if it looked amazing. And then later on, once I came out of New Game Overload, it was like, Islebound, why didn't we get that? What was wrong with us?
Tell me about it.
Because it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
We got Seven Ronin.
Which you really super wanted.
Yeah, that looks awesome. I've seen Seven Ronin, awesome flick. I've seen The Magnificent Seven, the original, amazing flick, and haven't seen the new one, and that's okay. But it's just the idea of like Seven Ronin taking on like hordes and hordes and hordes and swarms of ninjas, and in a two-player hidden like thing. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just your cup of tea.
Yeah. What else we get?
We got Fury of Dracula.
That was not planned at all.
Not at all. And I had to think hard about that game because I call it by the wrong name. I call it Furry Dracula because picturing a scary Dracula furry is funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if that slips out sometime, just pardon me.
Yeah. It's always been a game that has interested me. And I remember the last time we went to the Boardroom Game Cafe, a group of people that worked there were playing it, and I was very intrigued. But I've never really gotten into it because it's really long and it's expensive, and it was always one of those games I thought we should try before we buy.
Right, but then what happened?
It was announced that the relationship between Games Workshop and Fantasy Flight is going to be discontinued. So any of the games that are kind of in conjunction between the two are pretty much disappearing. And on top of that, before 3rd edition of Fury of Dracula came out, if you wanted to buy a 2nd edition a copy, it was like crazy hundreds of dollars expensive because it was out of print. So I'm imagining it going out of print and 3rd edition joining the ranks of 2nd edition and crazy expensive. So
If it follows the same pattern.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it might not.
It might not.
Yeah.
And I don't have any plans of, let's buy it so we can sell it and make money.
No.
It's just, let's buy it before it costs us an arm and a leg.
Exactly. And I said, well, that's a good point, but if we don't like it, I'm sure we won't have any problem getting rid of it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not imagining us not liking it.
Yeah.
I think we probably will.
Yeah, reading through the rules and looking at it, it looks very cool. The day we got it, I immediately grabbed the minis and primed them so I could paint them, so our minis are painted. Cool.
Awesome. What else?
We also got Lotus.
That was one that I really wanted.
Yeah.
And I was glad I talked you into it.
And it didn't take a lot of convincing.
Well, it's so pretty.
Yeah. What concerned me, first of all, I didn't look at it and go, ooh, it's pretty, I don't want it.
No, I know.
But when we watched it, I was like, area control.
And we played 2 mostly, so...
Is that going to work?
Yeah.
And usually area control doesn't work that well for 2 players.
Usually not.
Yeah. We found some that do, and we love them, but they usually don't. So we got that, hoping, because it looks like it does work.
And we'll let you know.
Yeah. What else we get?
We got an expansion for the networks.
Nice.
On the air.
Yeah.
So I think that was the one that came with the Kickstarter.
Yep.
Yeah. So it gives you a few more different shows and some network cards and...
Yeah. Doesn't drastically change the way the game's played. You don't have to learn any new rules. Just a little bit more variety.
Right.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. So that's everything we acquired over the month of September and October.
And now we get to talk about some of the new games we tried for the first time in September and or October.
What did we play?
One of them, we got to play Council of 4 right away, actually, because we were super excited to get that game.
Yep.
Because it was quite Euro-y.
Yeah.
And it had this crazy mechanic of these little ledges, and you have these meeples on these ledges, and then you insert a new person, and it pushes off the person right off the edge of the ledge. And that just seemed intriguing to me.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, actually.
So
and
did
that's
I.
another one that's kind of area majority.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. You're building like this interesting network, and there's all these different ways to score bonuses. So if you're going to score a bonus in this one way, it means you're not going to be able to score the bonus in that other way. So what is the best way for you to score your bonuses? And then on top of that, how can you chain your cities together? Because as soon as you're chaining them together, when you get a new link to the chain, it triggers the rest of the chain.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
And the maps are all in quadrants.
Yep.
I think there's 3 or 4 different pieces.
3 boards.
And they're double-sided.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. But the quadrants themselves, like, have all the different colored villages. So, and that's what the area majority is, like the different colored villages.
Yeah, very cool. I enjoyed it.
And we didn't play it very much. I'm looking forward to playing it some more.
Yeah, definitely.
And I imagine that we'll have a playthrough video for this one coming up. Not too far in the distant future.
Nice. Not too far in the distant future.
Does that not make sense? Did I say that wrong?
No, it's just in the distant future, but early in the distant future.
That's what I meant to say.
I know. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's just
good.
awesome.
No, good. Because we already have videos. That,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on. And we also got to play
The Networks.
Networks. Nice.
And we did have a chance to play that one quite a few times.
Yes. And I like it. It's fun.
I like it a lot too. It's more of like an organizational kind of game.
Yeah.
Because you've got your network board or whatever, and you've got 3 time slots for shows. And then you're maximizing where to put the shows that you can pick up from the supply.
Yeah.
Into those time slots. Because if you get them in the right time slot, they're going to give you bonuses.
And then the timing of everything so that as soon as that show is no longer giving you the maximum amount of viewership, you can replace it with one that will.
Right.
So there's a lot of timing with that.
Exactly. And then getting your shows into the reruns, because you're going to get some points from that as well.
Yeah.
It's really, I find it runs really smoothly.
Yeah.
And the theme is super cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah, we didn't have any themes yet. I really wanted the one about the movies. I think it's called Dream Factory.
Okay, yeah.
But this one kind of is in the same kind of theme. So I'm
TV
glad
network.
we picked it up.
Yeah. I would really like to see expansion packs of cards to get more variety in the shows, because when you're playing 2-player, a lot of the cards get taken out. And for a 2-player, a lot of the time it's the same cards over and over again whenever you play. They come out like in a different sequence, but it's still the same shows.
But the stack of pink cards is really high.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily see a ton of the pink cards.
Exactly.
Of course, there are some duplicates in the pink cards.
Yeah. And I think going into playing the networks over and over again, learning a lot of the network, the pink cards, because those are the ones that let you break the rules and do take that things. Not a lot, but a little bit. I think those are the cards that are really going to... Everything but the network cards we've kind of mastered very quickly. And it's very fun and cool.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start mastering the network cards, your game is going to change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because the show names are so funny and quirky,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see a lot more of those.
Yeah.
Just for variety.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of the reasons why we did get the expansion on the air.
Yes. And I've been reading some tweets too that there's work on an expansion.
Sweet.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Although I hope it adds more cards and not a lot of rules.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hope. What else do we play?
We got to play Islebound one time.
Yes, we did.
And I really enjoyed it.
Even though we played it wrong.
Yeah. That happens a lot on your first game, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't judge us.
Nope.
Yeah.
We got a couple things wrong, but even though we did get a couple things wrong, and it seemed like the game was taking forever because it took like almost half the entire game, and then suddenly it clicked. Oh wait, this is a race to get like 8 buildings.
Right.
And you can buy as many as you want. Well, I'm just gonna buy 4 right now, and it was just.
And then the game was like right over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a lot too, and it's so beautiful.
Yep.
Like that is probably my most favorite art of all of Ryan Laucat's games so far.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Very quirky.
Yeah.
But cool. Right. Looking forward to playing that again. What else did we play?
Ooh, we tried Lotus quite a few times as well.
Yeah, we did. Really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
And it does work as a 2-player game.
Really good.
Yeah. I have a feeling that by adding more players, it's going to significantly change the timing of playing the cards to try to take over or snake out all the cards from other people.
Mm-hmm.
But it still works really well as a 2-player area control game.
It does.
Yeah, which is surprising.
And it's got some really interesting mechanics with your hand.
Yep.
Because one of the things you can do with your hand is take 2 cards from it and put it on the bottom of your deck.
And then draw the ones off the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're really good at remembering what you put at the bottom of your deck,
Yep.
you can kind of stack it a little bit for how you want to play in your end game.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting to me.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Although I don't have a good memory for it, but if I did, that would be amazing.
There you go.
Yeah.
I tried a very interesting strategy where I tried to do that, but I was putting all the 7s, and it failed miserably. What I should have been doing was putting all the small ones, and then at the very end of the game, I could have been bang, 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 and just got a whole bunch of extra points.
True.
That would have been smarter.
You're informing me of your strategy for next time.
We will see. Because I'll forget.
No, you won't.
What else did we play?
We got to try a friend's copy of Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Which I was like really wanting to play really bad. So I'm so happy that they brought it over that day.
And I was just like, meh. I wasn't like super interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm glad I got a chance to play because it is.
Really fun.
Yeah.
And this weird thing happens. Well, it just must be us because we're weird. But we make up these stories. And I think you're supposed to because, I mean, you're supposed to bluff the sheriff and, like, weasel your way through with, like, contraband and stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, making up the stories and, like, having that silly banter with the sheriff is fun.
And it's interesting because we watch lots of, like, social gaming commentary from, like, reviewers and stuff about the meta game. So, like, when you're playing a Spyfall, there's supposed to be this meta game that develops between the players outside of the game that carries over, and we've never seen that.
No, it didn't happen to us. Yeah.
But for Sheriff of Nottingham, the meta game started to happen where you could tell who was going to role play up their character and have stories, and who was just going to be flat out no. And that became a meta game because as soon as the meta game changed, as soon as someone who was always just out, I'm good, no, started to like spin a story, you're like, wait, why are they suddenly spinning a story now?
And it makes you really suspicious.
Yeah, it
and
was
do you
awesome.
check their package? Because maybe they're just doing it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they're just lying to you.
That was cool. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
A lot. So much so that I think I want to buy that game.
Yeah. It would be interesting to take that to school and play that with the kids. Or at a staff game night.
Oh no. I don't want to play that.
Maybe not. But it was fun. It was I don't know why I wasn't interested in it. I did not expect it to be fun.
Maybe it was the theme.
Maybe. When you read the rules or know how it's played, it just seems so simplistic. Like there's nothing really going on.
True.
But it's so perfect in that it is so simple and there's not a lot to it. So it's so easy to get into, and yet triggers exactly what you need to trigger for a bunch of people to start messing with each other's heads.
Right.
And it just works so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, that was
You
cool.
can tell we were impressed.
What else did we play?
We got to play Notre Dame.
Yeah, we did. A couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I like that a lot.
I do too. I'm glad that we picked it up, and it was funny how we came about it because we saw it on the Math Trade.
Yeah.
We knew it was a Stefan Feld, which we're really big fans of his.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, let's check out a couple of reviews because it was always out of print. We never had access to it, so we never really researched it too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad that we ended up putting it down because it was a good trade.
Yeah, it is an excellent Stefan Feld game. I really enjoy it. Like, a lot. There's a lot of really interesting card play. The board is really unique and cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way you can manipulate your cubes all over your burrow to get your different buildings all powered up to do these super cool moves.
That's the thing. It's interesting
cool.
because you play these cards to place a cube, and the number of cubes in your burrow dictates how many of that action you can do.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out how to manipulate your cubes is a really interesting puzzle.
Yeah. And then the 2-player variant is amazing. You start off with 3 cards in your hand, and then you take one and you put it down and you pass the other 2 to the other player. So then I've got 2 of your cards and you got 2 of my cards, and we take one of those and we pass another card back. So it's so, like, you get your 3 cards and you're like, okay, I want these 2, but I'm going to have to pass her one of them. Which one do I absolutely have to, like, keep hold of?
Right.
And when you have more than 2 players, you just draft them. So you take one card and say goodbye to the other 2 because they're never coming back to you.
Mm.
Adding that whole one of them is going to come back to you is amazing. Because it's just so like, oh, you took the one I really wanted.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because if you think that the card you want is going to come back to you, you can really take the one that you want from your hand.
Yeah.
Just so you can't play it, but I'm not going to play it either, so haha, I wasted your card.
And yeah, the fact that now that you have 3 cards in your hand and you're only going to play 2 of them, yeah, means you can totally do that. Yeah, I took that and you don't even get to do anything with it. It's awesome.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. I honestly think it plays best as 2.
I don't know. We haven't played it with other player counts. But
No. But just because of that one change, I think I think if we play it with more than 2 players, it's going to be fun and cool, but it's going to take that aspect right out of it, and I think that kind
You
of
would
makes
miss
it.
it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Awesome little game.
Cool. What else did we play?
And we got to play 7 Ronin, which is very cool.
It's better than I thought.
Yeah. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is you got your player screen that has information on it, and then you've got your little board in front of you that has kind of like your mini map, and then you got the big map, and the colors and the symbology between all of them is just off.
A little bit.
Yeah, there's no singular symbol or color that matches all of them equally. So sometimes you're trying to figure out, okay, wait, this means this, which means what? Oh, it's over here, and it means that. That seems like a bit of an oversight to make the gameplay go a whole lot smoother.
Unless we're missing something.
Maybe. But the gameplay itself, once you get past that, is very, very cool. And I played the ninjas, because ninjas. And you get to play the 7 Ronin. And we started playing our first game, and 3 rounds in, I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm just getting slaughtered. I'm never going to win. And then, like, a round later, all of your Ronin started dropping off like flies, and then suddenly everything shifted, and it became super tense.
Yeah.
Because all your guys were dying off, but I only had a few ninja left.
Yeah.
And could have pulled it off.
Yeah, I liked it way more than I thought.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Because I pretty much, I knew it looked cool, but I had no expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to replace the tiny Ninja Star ninjas.
They are a little bit too small.
They are like a couple of millimeters in size. Like, they are super small.
We already almost lost one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like coming to the table with a different game, and I was like, oh, ninja on my foot.
Thank goodness you stepped on that ninja.
Yeah. So we might have to get some like mini meeples and then like paste the ninja stars to them. that might make more sense.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would hate to lose those cute little stars.
They are cool.
They're cute.
But they don't work very well as a component of the game.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
Especially if you have big fingers. You could hardly grab them.
They are crazy small.
Yeah.
But the game is awesome. All right. What else did we play?
Well, we haven't played it for the first time, but we did play it recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that according to the score paper in the box, I have never won Target one time. I don't understand that. I love that game.
Yep.
And usually, like, I would remember that I never won a game of it. So now there's a rivalry brewing because I'm going to have to play that a lot and try to win.
Now we have the papers that we've kept in the box, but we've played it according to our Board Game Geek a whole lot more. So it's possible you might have won.
I must have.
Yeah.
I had to have.
Yeah.
How could I not have won that game?
I don't know.
I just thought I'd mention it. That's all I had to say.
And finally, what is on our radar?
Well, nothing happened for us in September because we didn't get to watch too much videos or do too much research.
Nope.
But luckily, October is when Essen happened.
Yeah.
The big game fair over there in Germany.
Yeah.
So we've been getting to watch some coverage of that.
Mm-hmm.
My number one game that I would buy if I could just up and outright buy is Cottage Garden.
Nice. That looks pretty cool.
I want to try that game so bad that I will just buy it blind.
My goodness.
I know.
Although we did watch a playthrough, and it did look pretty neat and interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved that playthrough.
Yeah,
that's why I love it so much. Plus, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
And it's got the same puzzly aspect of Patchwork,
Mm-hmm.
but how you get your pieces is a different mechanic.
Yes.
Which I think it's on a grid.
Yeah.
And just how you get them
Yes.
looks so interesting. I think it's right up my alley.
Yep.
And plus, pretty flowers with kitties. Oh my goodness.
Patchwork I was not super impressed with.
I thought I was really going to like Patchwork, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed that I didn't like it.
So I think that puzzly nature of Patchwork, which is kind of neat, but the rest of Patchwork was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
So, again, with Cottage Garden, you get that puzzliness, which is cool, but then the other mechanisms are very interesting. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, on my radar is the Oracle of Delphi.
Yes, that does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, the gameplay looks interesting. But the look of the game, it's unappealing. The visual of it to me, I know, it's sad.
My goodness.
I know.
I think it looks cool.
I think the gameplay looks cool.
It looks like a very unique Feld. Like something that we haven't seen from Feld. Which is
I don't know why it's reminding me, and it shouldn't, but I keep thinking about Aquasphere when I see that.
Really?
When I see the game presented on videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, because they're two totally different mechanically driven games.
Maybe because Aquasphere was so different for Feld. It was something different.
Maybe.
Yeah, that wasn't normally in his games. And then maybe that's why you're kind of cautious about it, because we did not like Aquasphere.
No, and that made me sad too.
Yeah.
Because it was so cute. And I mean, octopods? How can you not be in love with an octopod?
When they're on Aquasphere, because it's a bad game.
I guess, yeah.
Sorry, it's not a bad game. It's a game that we don't enjoy.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't work for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that it's like this crazy race to get all of your tasks done before anyone else, and just the weirdness of how you do that, and it just looks interesting. I'm intrigued. I need to know more about this game.
It's an interesting theme.
Yeah.
But the game with that theme that I think is more up my alley is Hellas.
There you go.
I don't know how you say it. It looks like fellas, so I'm just going to say Hellas.
Yeah.
Like fellas. Hellas.
That looks cool.
I'm really interested in it. And it's about mining and how that mechanic works in the game, because I watched Rada's run through.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really, really super cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to get you to watch some videos on it too.
Yep.
So that you can see how super cool it is as well.
Awesome. Will do. And then, of course, what came onto our radar and everybody else's radar in the world who doesn't even play board games, because everyone was talking about it. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe. We don't know.
I would have to say 45% of the world.
There you go, 45% of the world.
That is my
Yeah.
made up, statistically calculated
There you go.
estimate.
Mechs versus minions. Yeah.
It looks really fun.
Yeah. And at first I thought, oh, this overproduced game that's not going to be good at all. So we watched a lot of like review / playthroughs of it to see.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Like so much so that I think I don't even have to read the rule book.
Yeah. We watched a lot to make sure that it did interest us. And it does interest us. It looks very neat. The whole programming cards and upgrading your cards and just, yeah. And then the player chaos of, oh, I have programmed my mech to do this one thing and now I need to do something completely different. What do I do? Because if I don't change it, I'm going to be doing all the wrong things this entire round. But if I change it, I get rid of all these upgrades that I just spent so much time getting together. That is very cool.
It seems super cool.
Yeah.
Like it kind of, I don't know if this is going to be accurate. Some people may yell at me, but like a cross between Arcadia Quest and Colt Express,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because Colt Express, you do have to do that whole round of programming before you get to do your stuff. But then, of course, in Colt Express, all the player chaos is trying to mess each other up. And this one is co-op, which I think is kind of neat.
And usually we don't like co-op, but I think in this instance, because we're going to get inadvertently messed up, it's not going to have to feel like a co-op.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
And we've only ever watched stuff on like the first mission because we don't want anything spoiled. But we watched enough on that first mission that it looks really good and we're intrigued by all the stuff we don't know about it. Except for the couple of spoilers that people keep posting. Don't do that. That's not cool.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool, guys.
Let's move
Gals. Whatever. And I think the other cool thing about that game is because it's based on some kind of video game or something.
Yep.
That I have absolutely no idea about. But I think because that world is so developed,
Yeah.
it was easy to translate that theme into a board game form.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, it looks really neat too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I can't wait to get it. I want to go check to see where our package is right now.
No, we're busy.
We're busy. Okay. What else is on our radar?
Well, it's on my radar, but you told me I couldn't have it.
Okay.
It's Feast for Odin.
Yeah.
Because you think it has too many bits in it.
Oh my goodness. It's like the bits of a Rosenberg like married the bits of a Rosenberg to like create like the extended family of like 13 Rosenbergs. It's just that looks like too much. It looks interesting and I would like to play it someday.
Me too.
But holy cow, that is too much. There is a certain point where you have so much for the setup that you're never going to play the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, we already have several games by Rosenberg that we don't play because it takes too long to set it up.
Okay.
But we will play it one day.
See, this is what I'm dealing with. What else is on the radar?
What else on the radar? I'm interested in Clank. I don't know a lot about it except that it's deck building, but it doesn't feel like your regular deck builder because you have like this adventure out on the board based off of your deck, which intrigues me. And I hear that it's a lot of fun.
Sounds like more research is necessary.
Yes, absolutely. For that one, more research definitely necessary. And then looking over a lot of the games coming out at Essen, the Great Western Trail kind of grabbed my interest. But again, I don't know a lot about it. It just looked kind of neat.
Yeah, we haven't had time to check that one out yet. But
So definitely more research is necessary for that one.
we'll have to update you on the next podcast.
There you go. Something else that we are excited about is we backed another Kickstarter. We don't back many Kickstarters these days because the exchange between US and Canada is really, really bad right now. So we have to be super picky.
Yeah, because Mechs and Minions really took a huge chunk out of the exchange wallet.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, because another thing about that game, which I'll just say quickly, the price point for what you get in the box was $75 US.
Yep.
Which, as an American, you're probably really excited about because, holy moly, this is like a $150 game that I'm going to get for $75.
Yeah.
Well, if you're living in Canada...
It was $150. Once you added the shipping, the exchange,
and then there's customs and
customs,
tax.
yeah, it went from $75 to $150. which I still think is a fair price point for that game.
It is.
Yes.
But
wow.
Just because we live on the other side of the border.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That was harsh.
Right. So that was just a little aside about exchange.
Yeah. So when we checked out the Medici card game, and we found out that it was not in US dollars, it was in Australian dollars.
It's way more comparable to our money.
Wow.
Which
I
is
guess.
nice.
Yeah. So I like punched in like 26 Australian dollars to Canadian dollars, and it was, that'll be $26.39. I was like, 39 cents.
Instaback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome.
That was it was like exciting to actually be able to back something again.
Yeah. That was cool.
And the thing about the game, because we were looking at the new release of Medici.
Yep.
And we were thinking about playing it as a 2-player game, and we were looking at that.
Yeah.
And then I said to Justin, well, let's check out the playthrough for the card game, because that's on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, that, like, I was watching the playthrough like it was a football game. Like, I was yelling at the screen of like, no, you've got to make this move. Justin's over there like, what are you yelling at? I'm like, it's my show. My show's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the card game itself, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Daxu in the mind games of the cards.
Yes.
But with a completely different mechanism that is also unique and intriguing.
Right.
So it has me excited for that game a lot.
Well, it's pretty much exactly the Medici game, except you're not having an auction.
Which is awesome, because 2-player auctions are not good.
Not normally.
No. So this one, it looks awesome.
We're excited.
Yeah. So we back that. Haha. Right on. What else came onto our radar that we want to talk about?
Well, it's something you want to talk about that you read on the Board Game Arena website.
That's right.
What is that website?
BoardGameArena.com is a place where you can go and play board games online for free, and you can play them either as a turn-based game. So you make your move, and then you come back a couple hours later and check, time for me to make my next move, which is awesome. Or you can play it real time, so you can actually sit down and have a full game. They've got tons of games, which is awesome. They made an announcement that Legendary Inventors is going to be on their website to be played before it even gets out in stores.
Cool.
Which is really cool on its own. But then there's a contest. People are going to start playing it, and if you play games on Board Game Arena, you get this little, what's called an ELO. It's like your score, your ranking amongst everyone else, which is kind of neat, but whatever. On November 6th, they are going to take a look at the top 3 ranked players of Legendary Inventors. And those 3 people are going to win a copy of Legendary Inventors, a copy of Conan, the new game that's coming out.
Cool.
And then they're also going to win a copy of every game that these 2 publishers publish for the rest of the publisher and the people's lives.
Wow. I wish I could get over my fear of playing games with strangers online, because, man, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. And the 2 publishers are Bombix and Monolith. So if you win this contest, any game that Bombix or Monolith releases for the rest of your life, or the life of the company, is yours for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It is crazy. That's just crazy.
That's an awesome contest.
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing.
I hope you win.
Me too. And it doesn't hurt that the game looks pretty interesting and kind of cool.
Yeah, it does look interesting.
Yeah. So that's cool as well. So that was kind of neat. So if you see this video or are listening to this podcast before November 6th, check out Board Game Arena. You might want to get on that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. All right, and I think that wraps up our podcast for September and October.
I think it does.
Right on.
Thanks for watching and or listening.
Thanks a lot.
And we'll talk at you in the next one.
Laters. Can't say anything about it.
I know, because you fell asleep.